Today I'm testing the Revopoint MetroX Pro, a blue light 3D scanner designed for detailed object scanning. The real question is not how clean the scan looks, but whether I can use this to reverse engineer a broken part and 3D print a functional replacement. Welcome to the channel. Now for full transparency, Revopoint did send me this scanner to check out, but that's not going to affect how I feel about it. So let's take a look at what's in the box and get to scanning. The scanner has both laser and full field structured light scanning modes. Revopoint lists it as having up to 0.02mm accuracy, with scanning speeds of up to 2 billion points per second using 30 cross-line scans in laser mode, and up to 7 million points per second with structured light. In plain English, that means you can move the scanner around your object at a very usable speed, and the accuracy rating is how close the captured points are to the real surface of the object. It's preserving the spatial relationship between all those points, so your digital mesh actually matches the physical object. Setup is pretty simple. You plug one power cord into the turntable, which can be controlled by the buttons on the front or by the computer. The scanner's power supply then plugs into the USB, and then the USB plugs into both the scanner and the computer. I'm going to use the laser mode to scan the part I need to replace, so let's take a look at that first. This is a handle of a frying pan that I have that's snapped in half. It's made from some kind of cast resin composite, and it has a very organic shape. Trying to model something like this just by measurements would be a nightmare. I had tried epoxying it back together, but it didn't hold, so it just needs to be replaced. For now, I'll just use some CA glue to hold the part together so we can scan it. While I'm prepping this part to scan, I want to mention a free guide I just finished called Creative Problem Solving for Makers. It breaks down the methods I use when working on my projects, especially when things don't go to plan. So if you're getting stuck on your own builds or have a project you're having a hard time starting, there's a link in the description to download it if you want to check it out. It might help. You can see there aren't any flat spots on this handle, which makes it a good candidate for scanning. The only spot that's close to flat is on the end, so I'll scan and print it like that. But it won't stand up on its own that way, so I'll use the painter's tape and CA glue trick to temporarily stick it to the table. I also received the marker block kit, which is a bunch of markers of different sizes that are used in laser mode. There are stickers you can place on flat surfaces, and then a bunch of other reusable marker blocks that can be placed around your object. In laser mode, the scanner uses these markers as reference points. As you move around the object, it tracks where these markers are to understand where the scanner is and where the laser is contacting the object. You can see as I move, the lasers are projecting the crosshatch pattern onto the handle, and the object is starting to take shape in the computer. Once I cover an area, I'm using the buttons on the table to rotate it so I can scan the next area. When you start the process, the mesh shows up as yellow. That's telling you that there's not a lot of data being captured yet, but as you keep moving and scanning over the object, eventually you'll see it starts turning blue, which is telling you that now you have enough information captured for that area. Once the scan is done, the software gives you everything you need to process the scan and clean up any issues. While I'm cleaning up the mesh, take a look at the layers of tape that are on the table. You can clearly see each layer of tape as it overlaps itself. That's an example of the level of detail the scanner is able to capture. Once the mesh is finished being processed, I'm going to export it and bring it into Nomad Sculpt to do a little bit further cleanup on it. Before I finish cleaning up the handle, let me show you the scanner running in structured light mode. I'll be using the tripod and turntable for this. I think you can freehand scan in structured light mode, but I'm not positive. But this setup will give you the best results as everything is stable and the turntable stops between each image. When the computer is controlling the turntable, you can set how many rotations it does for one scan, and you can control the tilt of the table per rotation. When you're done, you have a precise scan pattern as shown as all the camera locations in the software. Structure light is great for capturing the overall shape quickly, and it can still capture surface details, but laser scanning gives the scanner more defined reference lines, which can make it better for sharper features, small details, and surfaces that are hard to track cleanly. Now that we're in Nomad Sculpt, the main section that needs to be cleaned up is the area that was stuck to the table, but while I'm here I might as well clean up a few other casting issues. With the cleanup all done, the part's ready to print. But first, I'm going to do a test print in PLA just to make sure it fits. The print looks pretty much the same as the original handle, but the real test is to see if it's going to fit on the pan. Now that I confirmed the part's going to fit, I can print it in its final material. PLA won't hold up to the heat when cooking or going through the dishwasher, so the final part I'll print out of nylon carbon fiber. After drying the filament in my Sunlu E1 dryer for a few hours, I started the print on my Bamboo H2S, but twice the nozzle clogged partway through. So I had to rely on my old faithful P1S to get the part printed. The nylon has a great finish right off the printer, but I have seen some concerns that the chopped carbon fibers on prints can irritate people's skin or leave tiny fibers on the surface, especially on handle parts. So since this is a handle, I'm going to wet sand the surface. After sanding, the surface isn't quite as nice anymore, so I'm going to give it a quick polish to bring back the shine. I could have sanded this a bit more to remove all the layer lines and buffed it a bit more, but I think for a pot handle, this is fine. The last step is to attach it to the actual pot, and we can call this project done. So what are my thoughts on the Metro Pro X scanner? First, let me just say if you're still watching, thanks for sticking around. Comment below if you have any questions, if I've missed anything. I read them all and I try to answer what I can. For me, the real reason you'd look at the MetroX Pro is for its laser scanning option. The structured light is interesting and it's good for small objects, but the laser scanning is when this really becomes a reverse engineering tool. If you look at the marketing material, they're usually showing this in laser scanning mode, and they're scanning car parts or machinery. That's where this scanner really shines. Being able to capture the fine detail and accurate 3D relationships is useful when you're comparing the real objects to 3D models. So this makes this more of like an industrial scanner and not something you're really scanning people for say building cosplay armor, for example. You could still do it, but it's not recommended to shine this in people's faces because of the strong blue light lasers. The scanner itself is pretty plug and play, and the software that Revopoint supplies is pretty self-explanatory and easy to use. So if you're working with automotive or machine parts that you need to digitize to then work off of, I'd recommend this all day long. If you're looking to scan people though, you might want to do some comparison shopping, as there might be some better options out there. That's all I have for this video. If you'd like to support the channel, consider checking out my Patreon. It's a lot easier to have bigger discussions there than it is in the comment section. Hope to see you again in my next video, and thanks for watching. If you're interested on improving how your prints look, I have a full playlist on the left that goes into finishing and post-processing. Or if you're more interested in the technical side of things, CAD, AI, advanced workflows, there's a whole playlist on the right that goes deeper into that.